everyone. In today's video I've got some layered word dangles that can be used in junk journals or scrapbooks or just cute little embellishments. So I've got these on bulb pins and I've added a couple little beads here and it's just layered up. I've got a flower layer, another one, and then that, and then I've got a little word on the top of each one of these that I've made. So that one's Life is Sweet, this one's just Peachy, and I've tried to use a variety of different designs on each one. This one's Happy Day, and this one's just So Delightful. And these can be attached to journal pages or the book spines, or they can even be used as charms or tags. So of course these can be done in a lot of different color combinations. I've kind of got some pastels for those. And then I've also made some here that are more of an antique-ish color. And it's got, you know, layered up. I've done some that are with old book pages. And this one I've just cut the word out of an old book page, Faithful, on there. And I've punched a little heart just with a punch and kind of put it at the top. And then I shaded each one of these with some distress ink. So that's another option as well. So one great thing about these is you can use up lots of the little scraps that we always tend to have, because they're pretty tiny pieces that you end up needing for this. And let me get this out here. I've cut my bottom one already, and it's 3 by 1 1/4, and then my middle layer is 2 3/4 by 1. And then my top layer is 2 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch. So then I'm going to just come in with my corner rounder. These just come together really quick. Of course you don't have to round the corners, but I chose to on this time. We'll do that really fast here. Snip, snip. And because these come together so quick and easy, it's a great project. You can kind of do a lot of them in bulk. Okay, so next we just need our hole in the top, and of course you can use a hole punch that you have. I have this tag punch board. Move those out of the way. I have this tag punch board, and I really don't use it a whole lot for use making the tags, but I love this little corner here because it allows me to line it up perfectly on both sides and just do a punch for that center hole. Sometimes when I'm using this this other one, I somehow get it a little bit off to the side on occasion, and that drives me crazy. So line that up. All right, move that out of the way. So now we're just down to this part, and I am going to pull out some words here. Now, like I said, on this one, I just went through an old book and I just found this title here of Faithful, you know, and then we always have these little pages that'll come, and these happen to be stickers. So I'm just going to find one that I think for this top layer. Let's see, that one's kind of small. There's a Hooray for Today. I think that one might fit on there pretty good. Let's print this out. And there it is. Pop this up. And we're just going to layer it right here on the top. It's got a pretty good stick on it. If it doesn't seem to be too sticky, don't be afraid to just add a little bit of extra glue underneath. Now when I did these other ones, I went around and shaded each individual piece. So I did the book page, since it's thinner, I glued it just to a piece of cardstock and then inked the edges on all of these. It just gives it a really pretty layer. But we're just going to leave these without inking today. So next we just need a bulb pen for this, and I pulled one out here. These all don't have to be done on bulb pens. You can use, this is a little, let me pull this out here. It's a lanyard hook. So I've done one on a lanyard hook here. Move that to the side. That you can just, one of those that just opens at the top. And then that can hook onto the side of your journal. And I've just added a little flower there on a jump ring. So that's another option. And then another option is to use some paper clips. And so I've done this one with a paper clip. You can see at the top, and I've just strung it on like that and then added the beads. So that's another option. Oops. So that's another option. We'll move that back out and bring this back in here. Okay, so now we're just going to load these up on the bulb pen. Put the bottom layer, and then the middle layer. If I can find it. There it is. And then the top layer. And then I'm just going to add 2 little beads to this. It'll fit on the top. Let's do this little kind of white pearl color. And then this pinkish one. And we'll just close that up. Oops. And those turn out really nice. Okay, we'll bring those back in here. And then one other thing I want to show you before I close this out. Also, you can use some that have an embossing design on them. So don't be afraid to use your embossing folders and run those through, and then have some pretty patterns, and you can mix and match all of these. So there's just some fun ideas. Use the bulb pins, paper clips, use the little lanyard hooks, and then of course the different colors of papers. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for joining me again. We'll see you next time.